everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Heard About Toys. I'm Mama Heard Dog, and I'm always here to guide you to the coolest kid items. Today we're talking books. I got a couple of books here that I'm really excited to share with you. They are spring themed. So I know you have a direct line to the Easter Bunny. So if the Easter Bunny perhaps is like a little nervous because they don't think the basket looks full enough or they don't really know what to all put in there, this is a great suggestion to pass along to them. Also, the Easter Bunny might be having a problem, a sibling problem. They get it. They have lots of siblings. So they decide they're packing up the Easter baskets and then, oh no, Kid A has way more than Kid B, and that has to be fixed. So I'm here to give you some of those suggestions. So the first one we're going to do is Bear Sees Colors. It's a spring book, but it is not necessarily in your face spring. And I think that it's a great book springtime and then on. You could definitely read all these books in the summertime too. Let's dive into this book specifically. This book has the same cadence and rhythm of the original book, The Bear Snores On, which we love, and we own 2 copies. So we're a big fan of this series with the bear, and we love this one a lot because, well, one, it's not a board book, but I'm sure they have it in a board book, but we just love that it's a completely different topic, but it still has the same feel as the rest of the series. You've got your brown bear, and you've got, well, I'll tell you, I'll read to you what the theme is. I think you can probably guess. Mouse and bear are walking. They are chitter chatter talking. So much for them to do. And the bear sees blue. Blue flowers, blue by the trail. Blue berries, blue pail. Blue, blue everywhere. Can you spy blue with bear? So you're getting a 2-for-1 here, I think. In the book, you're talking about colors. And you're recognizing the word. Over here, it's nice and big so you know what's what. And you're going to spy with your kiddos all the different parts of the blue on the page. And it's talking about spring at the same time. It's great. It's a multifaceted book, but it, obviously it comes across as a really enjoyable kids book that everyone will understand. And yeah, it just goes through the colors, does that whole thing all through. And the usual suspects are there, they come and hang out for a visit. So I think this is a great book, and I think your kiddo would probably love it too. Moving on. Up next, we have a book series, a set, I guess you could call it. And someone, I think, bought this for us, and we were absolutely delighted. We were obsessed with these books, and our kids were too for a long time. This is called Little Pea, Little Hoot, Little Oink. There's 3 books in the series, and this author is wonderful. We love a lot of her books. And these are, they say best-selling, and I believe it because, we even got second copies of all these. So the books are like this: Little Hoot, Little Pea, Little Oink, and they're kind of silly and contrary and fun for kids to read. Definitely, preschool, kindergarten, but the little ones would also enjoy this too. So I'm just going to show you an example. This is Little Hoot, and it says, once upon a branch there was a fellow named Little Hoot. Little Hoot was a happy little owl. He liked going to school, and you guys can talk about on the page what you see, how it's maybe the same or different as their school. He liked playing hide and seek with his forest friends, but you skip ahead a little bit and you realize that Little Hoot just wants to go to sleep. And he complains, all my other friends get to go to bed so much earlier than me. So it's kind of a silly little thing, but with cute pictures. And I think it's definitely worth adding to your collection. Little Hoot. And the Little Pea is about not wanting to eat the candy they have to eat for dinner. And they get like a little broccoli surprise treat at the end for eating their candy. And then Little Oink, you guessed it, does not like being messy, likes things a certain way. I feel like he's like the Bert and Ernie and Bert. These are great. You can separate them and gift one at a time if you want, or I think this whole thing will absolutely fit into an Easter basket. And I checked in case you wanted to order this one too. I took a look and I found it on Amazon. Now, I'm sorry, bear with me here. All right. Here we've got the book set. Can you see? I'm trying to get it so you can see. Okay, and it is only $13.54 for this box set, like identical to the one that I have. And I did look and did the research. It is absolutely available to arrive before Easter. That's what's great about Amazon. So if you decide you want to buy this book and Easter Bunny is all set, here you go, Amazon. Moving on. Okay, up next we have Time for a Hug with bunnies as the theme. And we have another bunny book that also is about telling time. So, Alice in Wonderland and her little rabbit have made an impression. So this book is a rhyming book. It's really cute pictures. I'll just read you a tiny bit. Wake up, the day is new. The clock says 8. What shall we do? And then every picture, there's the clock there. And then, okay, wash our faces, comb our hair, choose the clothes we like to wear, eat from a bowl, drink from a mug. What time is it? Time for a hug! And that's kind of how it repeats. And honestly, when I used to read this with all my kids when they were little, we'd pause with time for a hug and we'd hug each other. And that's just a nice way to kind of bring this idea home. And it's really fun. And I also found it on Amazon, and it's a board book it's a board book form, but it is the same book, same storyline, and the board book is $8.36, and this too will be delivered. I wish my light would not do that. This is available, and you will get it by Easter if you choose to buy it yourself, and it's a fun one. All right, moving on. All right, next up we have Invented by Animals. And I did find this on Amazon, I'll show you, but we originally, I think, got it at Five Below. Five Below is the place to look for books, inexpensive books that you can get in a hurry if you want to gift one. There's so many choices. I find so many awesome things there. But this is Invented by Animals, and it has great pictures and a lot of information on each page. It's just a very interesting, fun book. So this is about the woodpecker, lead drummer. And the woodpecker tells you about who they are and any kind of little interesting information. Here, it talks about the interesting fact is that the head of the woodpecker is actually quite strong, even though, he kind of looks frail. He's not. Don't judge a book by its cover. And it talks about the spongy bone, the neck muscles, horseshoe-shaped bone, and beak, how they're built in nature. So nature gave ideas to the humans where they realized there is other ways to utilize that kind of idea for humans. It's being copied to make safer helmets for footballers, cyclists, motor racers, or anyone else who needs a helmet. And it could be used for other things that need to resist knocks and shocks, like automobile bumpers, flight recorders for planes, spacecraft, and much more. I mean, you're learning so many cool things in here, and I think it's presented in a way that is really digestible and gives you a lot of cool facts. And this is a little bit, for older kids. My daughter, a couple years ago, loved it. And like I said, check for Five Below, or you can order it on Amazon. I have it here on Amazon. Let's see here. No. Okay. So here we've got Invented by Animals. This is the hardcover. I could not locate the soft cover. Maybe that was a special thing for Five Below. I don't know. But this one is reasonably priced at $13.10, and it also will get to you in time, which is what we're looking for if you're going to buy the book yourself and not the bunny. So there we go. It's a wonderful book. And like I said, check out Five Below. There are some other really awesome books we've got from Five Below. We have this one here, Lord of the Land, and it's folklore and wisdom from the wild earth. That's kind of appropriate, I think, for bigger kids. And it just has fun illustration, and it just talks about, you guessed it, myths and folklore. It's a great one. That's at Five Below. I hope you can find that or something like it. So now we're going to move on to the next book. Okay, this next book is an interactive book, and it's an Usborne book. Now, I don't know if you know Usborne, but they make quality books. But a lot of times you have to find someone who is selling the books for the company, and those are individuals. Sometimes it's hard to find somebody. In my area, I couldn't really find anybody, so I looked on Amazon, and they do have some. Sometimes they're expensive, but this one right now is affordable. This is Peek Inside Springtime, and their books are just so well made and well thought out. And it says, after the cold of winter, the weather gets warmer, sunshine melts the snow, springtime is coming. 3 new green shoots have appeared. Peek under the snow to see what they will become. Snowdrops! They're the first flower of spring. Guys, I did not know that. I've learned something today too. And so they have all these great, lift the flaps, and it just makes it a little bit more interactive. It keeps their attention a little bit more. And you are learning all about bugs and nature and kind of what springtime is about with a really fun, look at this guy. Look at his little booty. And then you flip it over and that's a bear, and it says, a brown bear, she's eating flowery catkins from the tree. I don't know what those are. So that'd be a fun thing to go look up on your phone or in a dictionary or something to find out what they are. So there are ways to kind of expand this book out. And it's so many really great pages. It ends, of course, with a rainbow. And it ends with a baby bird flying off on its own because springtime has ended. And, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think this will work for a couple different age groups. And I did find it on Amazon. Sometimes it's really hard to find Usborne books on Amazon, but I found it. This is the book, and it's a board book. That's what this is, for $10.39. This also will be able to reach your house in time for Easter if you're looking to buy this for your kiddos and the Easter Bunny's not going to do it. And there you go. It does come in time, but again, I say you have to order within the next 5 to 7 hours, I think, for a lot of these. So get on it if you like this book. All right, moving on. Up next, we have Pony and Horses by National Geographic Kids. They make great informative books like this on all different topics. This is a sticker activity book, and this was picked by my youngest when she, I think, was 3, 4, and she loved it, and she still hasn't even completed it all. There's so much to do in here. The general idea of the book is that there's games you can play that are horse related or activities, and it is peppered in there. We have all the facts that are about horses, which is really great. I love that they try to put some educational info in there. That's National Geographic for you. And lots of different games, and you have so many stickers that you put in different places, and there's coloring opportunities. It's just a really fun book. And if you have an older kid who is I don't need to color, but they would like to try to do word searches like this. I know that when my middle child, she was young, she loved a word search once she knew how to read. So there's a lot of different choices here, a lot of gorgeous pictures of horses, and it talks to you about their coat and what kind of animal they are, and then you go and you find the sticker that relates to it in the back. And there's so many stickers. She used a lot, but there's a lot still left over for her to complete. And then there's a little extra bit at the back as well. And it's a wonderful, easy gift to give for someone who loves ponies and horses. And like I said, check out, there's many of this kind of book online about different subjects. Here we are. This is what I found here. It's a paperback just like this one, and it's only $6.90. That's a steal. So I also know that this would get there by Easter if you're choosing to buy this. It would be here, no trouble by Easter, but I wouldn't dilly-dally. I'd go ahead and grab it pretty quick And that is the last one that I have that was from Amazon. Now, I did mention that Dollar Tree, well, I didn't mention Dollar Tree, but I mentioned Five Below is a great place to look at books. So is Dollar Tree. I think we got this one from Five Below as well. And, baby animals, what's not to love? So they have a little bit of information and really beautiful, great pictures there for your kids to enjoy. It's fun just to flip through for kids. My daughter did that all the time. And then you've got books like this, that are word heavy, but small and thin. And you can find these at Dollar Tree as well. You got this series at Dollar Tree, Discovery, Get to Know, and this is Penguins. And I believe I learned something in this one too. So it's just about celebrating animals this Easter. And then also there's this is an older version, but the Old Farmer's Almanac we absolutely adored. It gave us lots of great info, so much info. You'll keep you busy for a while. So that's it in terms of the books. I hope that this helped the Easter Bunny and you. Hopefully you can send along some ideas that will work. And I think that's it. So without anything else, let's just say, that'll do, friends. That'll do. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. Bye.